thank you for joining us in a most exciting evening. What a pleasure it is again to welcome Toni Morrison back to Cornell University. This public conversation is an unusual opportunity to add to our understanding of Toni Morrison and her work through the lens of a creative, intellectual collaboration. And as Professor Etching has said, you will take part in that collaboration. We're all grateful to Professor Adelson and the Institute for German Cultural Studies and to the Africana Center and its director for facilitating a very, very special occasion, and I'm very grateful that all of you have joined us. As many of you know, Toni Morrison is an alumna of Cornell University, having earned her master's degree in English here. She has returned to campus generously several times for public lectures and interaction with our students, especially during her tenure as an A.D. White professor at large from 1997 to 2003. On behalf of the whole Cornell community, I want to thank Professor Morrison for her ongoing connection with us, which is so rewarding for our community and for joining us tonight. Toni Morrison grew up in Ohio and earned her bachelor's degree in English at Howard University in 1953. She spent the next 2 years at Cornell, receiving her master's in 1955. She has taught at several universities and worked for 20 years as an editor at Random House. There, she helped bring to prominence such African-American writers as Toni Cade Bambara and Angela Davis. Today, she is the Robert F. Goheen Professor of the Humanities Emerita at Princeton University. She was living in Syracuse when she wrote her first novel, The Bluest Eye. Rising at 4 a.m. to write before work while raising 2 children alone after her marriage had ended. The idea for The Bluest Eye came from a childhood memory of an African-American classmate who longed for blue eyes. Even at the age of 12, Toni Morrison understood something of the pernicious cultural influences that had made her classmate despise her own natural coloring. The Bluest Eye was published in 1970 and was followed by Sula and then by Song of Solomon. The first of her novels to gain nationwide attention, it received the 1977 National Book Critics Circle Award. Professor Morrison went on to publish 7 more novels, as well as criticism, essays, and children's books. One of her many critically acclaimed works is Beloved, which received the 1988 Pulitzer Prize. This powerful novel is based on the true story of a runaway slave named Margaret Garner. As she was about to be captured, she killed her infant daughter to spare her the life of slavery. The New York Times Book Review selected Beloved in 2006 as the best American work of fiction in the past quarter-century. And Professor Morrison has also written the libretto for a 2005 opera, Margaret Garner, based on the same story. In 1993, Toni Morrison was awarded the most prestigious international recognition that a writer can achieve, the Nobel Prize for Literature. She is the second American woman to receive the Nobel in Literature, and the first, incidentally, was also a Cornellian, Pearl Buck. So you want to get a Nobel Prize? Just last spring, Professor Morrison published her latest novel, Home, the story of a traumatized young veteran of the Korean War, demonstrating once again her powers of compelling narrative and fresh, vivid language. I commend this book to you. The spring also brought another. In her long list of honors, President Obama awarded her the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Toni Morrison's novels are steeped in a piercing understanding of how history shapes the present day. Many variations of the African-American experience are illuminated in her fiction with power and humanity and humor and poetry. Her vision brings those multifaceted experiences before us with stunning originality. In the New York Times, Lee Hager Cohen has observed, part of Morrison's long-standing greatness resides in her ability to animate specific stories about the Black experience and simultaneously speak to all experience. That remarkable ability, the universalizing gift of all great writers, is something for which we as readers are intensely grateful as it enlarges each of our individual worlds. I'm honored and thrilled to welcome and introduce as our guest this evening a renowned writer who has dramatically enriched the literature of the United States and the world. Please welcome in conversation with Professor Claudia Brodsky, our own Toni Morrison.